What is going on, guys? BalorFan85 back with another. I'm actually kind of surprised that that's not hitting me, but I guess enough people complained. I wasn't one of them. But to each their own. BalorFan85 back. We are here with Kevin. We are Wrestling Review Society across the board.
Literally everywhere.
So
Man, I'm surprised that Wrestling Review Society was not taken
I really am too.
on any platform. We now have a Facebook page. Check. We have a YouTube page. Check. We have a business email page. Check. Soon, we're flirting with the idea of doing a Twitter account.
And we're trying to take over the world.
That's just to like reach out to people for like interviews and stuff like that. Maybe we get lucky.
Yeah, we're looking at talking to a few people, doing some interviews, trying to branch out a little bit just from belt reviews. Because I'll be honest, we're blue collar guys. We can't always afford a new belt, and as much as we see people, hey, do this belt, do that belt.
We would love to.
We have to have the funds, and when the funds aren't there, we have no fun.
In the words of Heath Slater, I got kids, man.
I don't, but
I got kids.
I got check to check. So every once in a while, what we're doing since there it is. Actually, that one wasn't too bad. It's like a little tornado going on right now.
He has fun with it too.
Yeah. So we have the new lighting. We have the new HD video. We want to go back and start retouching, or as you're calling it, remastering some of our old our older videos. And giving you guys a better look because, not always, a laptop computer webcam doesn't always do it.
It was good for when we had it, but we've since upgraded. So in order to bring you the best viewing quality, we may be revisiting some stuff. And now that, let's be honest, it's only been a little over a year, but we've seen so many changes with professional wrestling. We've seen so many changes with championship belts. We now have some 5mm belts that we didn't have back then. We see a lot more people going to 2mm. Straps are different. So we may be not so much revisiting or remastering, but updating or just bringing you a better look. Because maybe you saw something that you weren't too sure about, but now with the help of HD cameras and studio lighting and stuff like that, yeah, we're still in my kitchen. We ain't got a big break yet, no. but we're taking steps to get there. So to bring you a better look at some of these championship belts, you may see some pop up, and maybe you give it a view, maybe you don't, but it's definitely going to help you understand why we like some of these belts as much as we do. This one being the perfect example.
This was a belt that was featured. we had a video specifically on NXT titles. I have two old school NXT belts, the old school NXT title and women's title. You have the new school NXT women's championship and the NXT men's title. Wasn't one of our most viewed videos, and while I'm not upset about it, I kind of felt like we delivered gold there, and there should be more views than what are there. But this belt in particular, we're torn on. We're split on, because you're not a big fan of it.
I'm not.
I'm a big fan of the replica in general. So I figured this would be a good one to do the HD video on, because I absolutely love it. So without any further ado, I'm going to break out the old school NXT women's title. So with this belt right here, first off, the replica quality is amazing for a WWE shop. This is, now granted, I can literally hold it and you can see it from one side to the other. This belt's probably, less than 4 feet long?
I'm holding one end and he's holding one end.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that, my width, and I'm a fat guy, but my width takes up, 3/4 of the belt, it seems like. But as far as a replica belt, this is by far one of my favorite replica belts that came from WWE shop. First off, you had a really great curve on it. I'll set it right here and you can see the curve. I can actually put my hand on it. You have the stones on it, and to me, whether they're pink or not, I love the stones on this title. I love the look of this title. It's almost a lemon front plate, and you have to me, it's like reverberating waves going out. To me, that's what it is. But you got the pink stones and the pink stones right here. The strap it's a really good strap, and you don't have right here. You don't have clamshell tooling, which is one of the only belts that you don't really see that on nowadays. Nowadays, clamshell tooling has got to be on every belt. This is almost a flower or an atom or something with an X in between it. It's really cool. They went with almost the NXT original strap feature right here, and this is signed by Bayley, by the way. And it kind of went from the beginning of the strap from the end plate snaps all the way down to the end. So I've got nothing but good things to say about the replica belt. Whether or not you're fixing to get into it, your cons. The cons to me is this is probably the smallest belt I've ever seen from a replica quality. It almost looks like a toy belt. I believe some toy belts are probably this long. Mm-hmm. But I've got nothing but good things to say about it. I'm so glad we got it. Not long after we got it, they quit selling this belt, and now it's actually a pretty popular belt to have on the secondary market. But I don't think we'll ever get rid of it. I love everything about this. So I'm gonna catch my breath because I just went full steam ahead, and let you get into it.
So just to piggyback on some of the things that my partner here said, it is a very small strap. One of the things I like about it is that deep curve to it. This is probably a belt that would fit my wife. She's a smaller person.
This would probably fit my thigh.
She could probably wear this and wear it comfortably because of the curve. No, I'll go ahead and say this. One of the things that have changed for me with this belt, the side plates. I wish there was more artwork in it, but when I look at these side plates, what other belt right now has side plates similar to this?
That would be the AEW belt.
Exactly. It's exactly what I was thinking. So the argument could be made that, maybe this inspired one of the most highly demanded replica belts. So I could definitely see maybe they looked at this and said, hey, let's try those side plates, or maybe not. But it kind of reminds me of the AEW. Now the AEW side plates have more artwork into it and stuff like that. But really, this belt and that belt are the only ones that come to mind that have side plates that look somewhat like this. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of contrast in here with the hot pink, with the black,
the darker pink.
Yes, the stones. Everything's real legible. Everything's really stands out with this belt. There's not a lot here, but what is here is decent. Mm-hmm. I don't like this belt just because of. This does not say to me the top person in our division should hold this belt. I thought it worked for Bayley. You think it worked for Banks. I personally didn't.
I think it worked
Charlotte, when she started to sharpen up the edges of her character, I didn't think it worked too good. But when she first won it, I thought it was fine. But when you think of a brand's championship or a division's top prize, I definitely think the current one is better. And that was always my biggest harp with it. Another thing, I don't like how the snap box is literally the entire length of the strap. Now that might be cool for some people because you can make it smaller, you can make it big. You literally have the entire strap to work with, not just those what is it, normally 8x2 or normally 10x2 or somewhere around there. This you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so these are 10x2.
I think it's just the strap is so small that a 10x2 looks. And one thing,
it looks a mile. The snap boxes look a mile long.
It does. One thing I like about this. So when they debuted the men's NXT title, it had the same thing. The straps going all the way around it. And it had the big NXT in the middle. To me, this was the perfect marriage for a women's title, where you had the similarities in the original NXT title, but you also had a flair that made it different.
But do you not get that with the current ones?
No, you do, but...
I get what you're saying. I do. But one thing that I know you're going to agree with me on, no matter how much you like this belt, one thing that Wayne and I both really enjoy is a very deep tooling in the snap box. I feel like, snap box is just the snaps and it's where you fasten the belt. But when you put that really deep tooling in there, it adds a bit of flair to a somewhat plain part of the belt. There is no tooling in these snap boxes. I mean, you have the lines and you have the logo, but that nugget tooling or that nugget texturing, it's just not there. That's another thing that takes it away for me. But with the fact that I just think, and I know it was a women's title, I just think it looked too girly to be the division's top prize, if that makes any sense. With that being said, there's not a lot here, but what's here is quality.
Yeah.
It is a quality replica. When you put replicas versus the ring used, this is probably one of the most accurate.
And I've actually held the ring used title. I got to hold it. The biggest difference is, of course, it's on a real leather strap. The ring used one is, but it felt lighter. And I think some of these simulated leather straps are heavier than the actual leather straps. So this belt actually felt, to me, a little bit heavier than the ring used belt. But as far as depth, the plates were about the same thickness. Everything was about the same. Maybe stone-wise it was different because a ring used belt, they're going to probably have cubic zirconia or Swarovski or something like that. But this wasn't very far off from the ring used belt, like you said. I mean, it really wasn't.
No. So this belt has definitely grown on me since the last time we've reviewed it. I still feel no need to have it in my collection. You know, maybe if I got it on sale or I found one of those hidden gems in a comic shop or something like that where I got a really good deal on it, I'm always down to add a new belt to the collection. But this isn't a sought-after piece. It's not a must-have. But I can definitely find more things now that I like about it than I could when we first did it.
Well, and one thing that I think the reason, and again, when I'm talking about this belt, as far as my love for it, it's mainly replica-wise, because to me, this is one of the best-made replicas WWE shop did. You had your thick plates, you had a curved strap, or you had the curved plates, you had thick plates. Just the paint was right, everything was right about it. I think the reason I like the original, the actual title, was when the time it came out, what other belt did you have in the women's division? You had the big butterfly.
Yeah, the butterfly that we all unanimously hated.
When this came out, this looked more like a wrestling championship belt than the Divas belt.
Just to give you an idea of how good this curve really is. And I know that iPhones are generally skinny, but the curve on this thing, and we love curves. It's one of our favorite things about belts. So that really is a plus side for me. But if I just take my phone, I can literally slide it underneath it. That's how deep that curve really is. And
it's a really good curve.
I'm a really big fan of the curve.
So replica-wise, again, the reason I harp on my love for this belt so much is from the replica quality. The replica quality is unbelievable. In a time where when you had replica belts come out around this time, you had 2mm plates, everything was flat as a board. You had these nice thick plates. Even the NXT tag and the NXT men's title, when they came out, they were 2mm and they were flat as a board. So this was a welcome addition to the collection. Now the reason I bought it was we were meeting Bayley, had to buy it. A lot of times the reason I buy belts is because we're going to try to get them signed. So I'm glad we got it signed, but also I just fell in love with the replica. The replica is unbelievable. I'm so glad we bought it and I have it in our collection.
And to have as many stones as it has, they're in there really, really nicely. You're not missing any stones. And this belt's what, a good 2-3 years old?
Maybe even 4 years now.
Maybe.
Depending. That's basically all I got to say. You got anything you want to say about it that we haven't already touched on?
Not so much with, well, I do have one more harp with this belt. And I don't think this was a thing done with all of them, but I see it with this one. Right here, it's like they got a little sloppy with the paint.
That could be.
And the paint overlaps into the silver. Maybe that's just on this. Maybe it's on all of them. I don't know.
Well, it could be. A lot of the problems they had is up here for the most part when people got replicas. There was a lot of the black and the pink up here. They kind of smudged into each other. I actually never noticed that, so thank you for pointing that out. I did notice one over here too, where there's a little black dot of paint.
It just
here.
This whole line right here just looks a little shaky,
and it probably is. But as far as, like I said, the quality, that's a con that the pros outweigh, in my opinion.
If you like this belt, definitely get it. It's definitely worth it. Mm-hmm. I never liked the belt to begin with. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it either. It wasn't one of those that just stood out to me. Like I said, when you think about the top prize in your division, now if this belt was a gimmick belt and it was meant for Natalya, the pink and black attack, stick with the heart found, I could see that. If this was a gimmick belt for Bayley, I could see that. But to be the top prize for anybody in the division, I don't like this being the end all be all top prize.
That's fair enough.
It just looks too girly, and I understand it is a women's division, but when you think of, the thing everybody's going to want to hold, do you really think Shayna would have wanted to hold something like she would have, because it's the championship?
Yeah.
But if you lined up Asuka, Shayna, Toni Storm, those tougher, hard-nosed style wrestlers that really just go in and put a beating on you, and you say, would you want to hold this one, or would you want to hold the current one? My money is that all of those ladies would like to hold the current one.
I think I would agree. I would definitely agree.
But if this is a belt that you saw and instantly liked, the replica is by far worth getting. It is very accurate. It is very well made. It has the curve. It has everything you want it to have. It's just, this belt was never a standout to me.
Yeah. So I think we've hit on this about as much as we can. I recommend getting the replica. I think you're kind of on the fence too, as far as getting the replica quality-wise. It's not.
If a deal popped up, I'd jump on it just to have it in my collection. There's a few belts that I said I would never have, and I have some of them now, and I'm, like I said, over time, opinions change, things grow on you. Like, for example, the Universal title. We both said when it debuted, we hated it, and now it's one of our favorite replicas.
Yeah, it definitely is. If you're going strictly, you're going to get a good quality replica and this comes available, I'd get it in a heartbeat because it's such a great replica. With that being said, we hit our buzzer, Mr. Working on Facebook over here. We're going to go ahead and get off here. We've got a little bit we've got to do in our Facebook group, but you got anything else you want to say?
Just really quick, I've said this in the last video or this video, depending on which one you watch first, but we have such an appreciation for everything you guys have done for us. We have so many people to thank. We have so many people that we want to recognize. And to be completely honest, we can ramble another 20, 30 minutes on that alone. But I know this is going to sound like a blanket statement, but we mean this with all sincerity. To anybody who had anything to do with the YouTube page, the Facebook page, any advice on how to make them run better, any advice on how to do your video editing, any advice on how to do my interviews, anybody who played any part, whether it be you reached out and gave us advice, whether it be you helped us with making a few changes, turned us on to certain belt makers or equipment to use, or even if you just liked the pages. If you're a member, thank you to absolutely everybody who helped us get where we are, and thank you to everybody who continues to help us get where we want to go. None of this is lost on us. We know we couldn't do this on our own. The viewers on the YouTube channel have really made this a channel. We just made the videos. You guys are what made it a YouTube channel. As far as the Facebook page goes, we made the page, and those guys and girls on there really made it a Facebook group. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for listening to us talk. Thank you for wanting to listen to us talk.
Because that's all we are. We're fans who want to talk wrestling. And if we weren't doing this on this platform, we'd be talking with our friends about wrestling. The fact that we have anybody that even remotely wants to hear us still baffles me.
One of the things that makes wrestling so great is difference of opinions. Not so much arguments, but debates. And you bring a different knowledge than I do, and I bring a different knowledge than you do, and the people watching bring a different knowledge than we both do. And when you get those kinds of people together, it makes for a really good time. And that's all we try to do on the Facebook page and the YouTube page. So thank you for everybody who had anything to do with it whatsoever, no matter how big, how small. There is no small gesture to us, whether it just be a like, a share, a comment. thank you for helping in any way. And we're definitely going to do our best to keep bringing you guys what we think are good videos. Hopefully you think they are too.
And as long as you keep watching and listening, we
don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So thank you all for that.
So that being said, like, comment, subscribe down at the bottom. And hopefully in the next few weeks, we've got some major stuff coming. We've got our full AEW Full Gear watch party that we cannot wait for.
We got merch now, guys.
Yep, aside from the tumblers. So if you'd be interested in any of this, go to the Facebook page. And also like A-Rock, AROCKK Designs on Facebook.
It's where all our merch is made.
Yep. So that being said, again, like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch you guys down the road. Dig.
See you guys.